जी आवाज आ रही सबको मेरी?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
चलें जी। ओके जी, तो बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम, लेट अस स्टार्ट। दिस इज आवर communication skills class, online class, and today we will start with my lecture number 2, and the title of today's lecture is interview skills. Last time we did resume writing and resume preparation, and what to mention in the resume, what not to mention in the resume. This time we will start and we will learn the interview skills. Can all the students see this slide?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Chale, that's good. So the second part is interview skills. Our focus on interview skills is based on the following objectives. Part number A is time and date punctuality. Part number B is professional presence and tamed conduct. Tamed means a well rehearsed and a well revised conduct of the candidate. Part number C is likable personality and a very pleasant question answer session. And part number D is to practice and demonstrate your talent. So today we will some very interesting interview skills that I think all the students, all the candidates who appear for a job or internship should demonstrate and improve with the passage of time. So we should start with the interview skills. Now the first skill, research the company. For a candidate or for a job seeker, for an interview seeker, it is essential to gain basic information about the company for which you are interviewing. During the interview, a candidate should demonstrate knowledge of the company. That is, to put it very simple, a candidate should demonstrate knowledge of the company. Knowledge of the company means what the company does, what are the main business areas of the company, how well the company is doing in the market, and what products the company has to offer. Research for important information about the company. These important information include the vision and mission of the company. What is the vision of the company? What is the vision of the company in the future? How the company wants to sustain, and what is the mission of the company? What the company wants to achieve. Then key personals, that is the important people of the company, the influencing people that are already working in the company and their contributions. And then lastly, the recent developments of the company or the recent milestones achieved by the company. So this will be a very interesting component. The first skill is that if a candidate knows the basic knowledge for the company for which the candidate is applying for a job, this shows a very professional gesture to the interviewing people about the candidate and the interest of the candidate towards the company. So now we come to the second skill, examine job description. Along with researching the company, also note the key areas of the role you applied for. It is very important for the candidate that along with the information of the company, the candidate should also understand the key areas of the role of the job for which the candidate has applied for. And this includes to read wisely the job description and make a list of points to defend how you are skilled for achieving these specific duties. That is, we go through the job description, we read them, we understand them, we comprehend them, and then we relate the job descriptions to your own personality, and not just relate, make a list of points, make a list of your specific skills so that you can defend yourself and explain how you are skilled for achieving these job description. And then in addition, in case you have past involvement in related areas, highlight your experience or instances or places where you have already contributed. Explain to the interviewing panel. Interviewing panel means the group of people who are taking the interview. This is interviewing panel. This is a group of people who are already working or associated to the company, and they are taking the interview of the candidate for the job. So a candidate can explain to the panel that how the past experience can help the candidate in achieving the current job. Be keen and passionate, but do not be desperate. Show your interest, show your passion, but don't show that you are too much desperate. So, the second point is along with researching the company, also note the key areas of the role you applied for. Read wisely the job description and make a list of points to defend how you are skilled for achieving these specific duties for the job. In case you have past involvement in related areas, highlight your experience or instances where you have contributed. And then lastly, be keen and passionate, but don't show desperation. Don't show that you are too much desperate for the job. This was our second skill. Now we come to the next slide. The next slide will show the third skill. The third skill is know the basic knowledge, and the basic knowledge for which you have been asked for the interview. Know the basic knowledge. In addition to your impressive conduct, you also require the understanding of subject knowledge. So this means that if we are applying for an electrical engineering job, we must have a very suitable understanding of the subject. Whether you are a fresh graduate or an experienced professional, you can expect challenging or tough questions. This is very important. Either if you are a fresh graduate or even if you have an experience, you are an experienced professional, you should always expect challenging questions, especially especially from your area of study. Therefore, revise your subject fundamentals. If you are a fresh graduate, go through the textbooks, go through a few examples, go through few definitions, and in case you have work experience, organize your thoughts about your work and present them well. So if you are a fresh graduate, your experience is your study. Your experience is your education. You must go through your books, you must go through your textbooks, learn definition, learn to learn to solve examples, learn to explain examples. And in case if you are an experienced professional, organize your thoughts. Think about the work that you have done and think about how to organize them and present them in a good way. Present them well. Right. After this is our fourth skill. Fourth skill is prepare for a
सर आपका
written
माइक
test.
क्यों ऑफ हो जाता है बार बार?
आवाज नहीं आ रही?
पहले नहीं आ रही थी, अब आई है।
तो यूं करते हैं कि हम पहले से ही रिवाइज शुरू कर लेते हैं. We started our interview skills, and our first skill that, in my view, the students should know is the first is the research the company. The candidate or the student or the person who is applying for a job should have an expectantial essential. The student should have the basic knowledge or basic information about the company for which you are interviewing. During the interview, a candidate should demonstrate the knowledge of the company. This research includes the research for important information about the company, includes the vision of the company, the mission of the company, and key personal people of the company and the recent achievements of the company. Second skill is examine the job description along with researching the company. Also note the key areas of the role you applied for. What are the duties of the job being posted? What duties are included in the job you have applied for? And this will be learned by reading carefully the job description and make a list of points to defend how your skills or how you are skilled for achieving these specific duties. In case you have past involvement in related areas, highlight your experience or instances where you have contributed. And a candidate should demonstrate being keen and passionate, but no desperation is required. Do not be desperate. Do not show that you are desperate show your interest, show your passion, but don't show that you are desperate for this job, right? Then is the third skill. The third skill is know the basic knowledge, and here knowing the basic knowledge means know the area or the field for which the job has been applied for. If it is an electrical engineering job, or if you are applying as an electrical engineer, go through your textbooks of electrical engineering. Your impressive conduct also requires your outstanding subject knowledge, your information, your outstanding performance in the subject knowledge. And this is important because whether you are a fresh graduate or an experienced professional, you should always expect challenging or tough questions being asked in the interview session. So even if you are a fresh graduate or if you have work experience, you should always expect challenging questions, questions that will demonstrate your depth of knowledge. And this depth of knowledge can be rehearsed if we revise our subject fundamentals. That is, go through the textbook, go through the examples, go through the definitions, go through various cases and revise the subject. And in case if you are a professional, if you have a previous experience, organize your thoughts, organize your work experience, organize how you will present what you have done. So this is the third, know the basic knowledge. Fourth is prepare for a written test. Now a written test can be very broad. Get ready for a written test or get ready for activities or presentations that may be mentioned in the job advertisement, job that is the job posting. And it is also likely that the job posting may not mention a test or an activity or a presentation, but a candidate should be well prepared. The candidate should be ready for a written test. The candidate should be ready for some physical activities or even some group discussion which will reflect the students, the candidate's personality, or even a presentation can be asked during the interview, where the candidate may be asked to approach a whiteboard and give a presentation on a certain subject. Now, if you prepare for a written test, you won't be surprised. By doing so, there will be no surprises during the interview, and you will be mentally ready. You will be mentally prepared for it. So, if we prepare for a written test, then in case there is a written test, there will be no surprise for the candidate, and the candidate will be mentally ready. The candidate will be mentally prepared for such event. And then how do we prepare for a written test? How do we prepare ourselves for a written test? Or how do we prepare ourselves for presentation? We will prepare ourselves by writing before the interview. When you are at home, you can always write the possible questions and write your answers. You can make a presentation by yourself. A presentation in an electrical engineering case mostly is the demonstration or presentation of your final year project or any subject project that you have done. The interviewing panel can always ask the candidate to give a presentation on the final year project or a project that was done during a subject. For example, a lab experiment, for example, a subject explanation session. And the fourth skill involves that the candidate should always write for the preparation, the candidate should write the answers. Right. So after this, we come to the fifth interview skill. Right. The fifth point is prepare for potential interview questions. Prepare well for most likely questions. Most of the interviews may have many common questions. Some of the examples of such common questions are: tell me about yourself, describe who you are, why should I hire you, why would why do you want this job, where do you see yourself in 5 years, and so on. Make a list of such potential questions related to the job profile, related to the job background, company, and prepare them in advance. Now, this is very important that we must prepare such common questions in advance. We cannot think of the solution, we cannot think of the answer on the spot. We must prepare for them in advance. Okay? So we can always ask friends questions that were asked, and then how would you respond to those questions? And as mentioned earlier, we can always write the answer to those questions. And by writing them, you will have a good grip of how you are going to present the answer. Then the sixth skill is be time caring and be punctual. This is very important for any job interview. Reach interview venue well before time. This makes you look professional. People who arrive late may be rejected even before they appear for the interview. Make a good plan of the route of travel in advance. Also keep in mind heavy traffic or some other reasons that may make you arrive late. This way you can reach or on time without being stressed. So being time caring or being punctual will help. In other words, it will help yourself from being overstressed. First, we already have the burden of the interview, and if we arrive late, then it will add to our problems. It will add to our stress. So, to prevent us from additional stress, why not we arrive well before time? It will look professional, and we will also free ourselves from bad experiences. This was the sixth skill. Then the seventh skill is be observant and be attentive. Be observant. The seventh skill is be observant and attentive. Good communication skills can go a long way in impressing the interviewer. Listen carefully to everything the interviewer is saying. This is not the time to dream or be unfocused, distracted. Always maintain a comfortable speed of talking while also make sure you heard what was said. This way you better connect with the interview panel. So be observant, be attentive, be alert of the questions you are being asked. And this will maintain a good communication skill, and it will present an impressive character of yourself to the interviewer. Listen very carefully to everything that the interviewer is saying. Do not interrupt too much questions. Do not interrupt. Be humble. Be wise at the time. Never be out of the focus. Never be out of the picture. Never be distracted to some other activity. Maybe it is happening outside the interview room or it is happening inside the interview room. Pay all your attention to the interviewing panel. And when you talk, always maintain a speed of talking that is very comfortable for the listener. So this way we will have a friendly environment with yourself with the interviewing panel. So the seventh point was be observant and be attentive. And then the eighth skill is speak clearly. Always speak very clearly. Maintain clarity of speech at all times to project confidence and clarity of thought. Speaking clearly induces or tells two key items about yourself. First, when you speak clearly, it means that you are confident, and second, that you are very clear in your mind about a certain answer. So it is a highly recommended skill that we speak very clearly during an interview session. And when communicating, speak in a calm and clear manner. All of your words should be well spoken, should be spoken in a calmly fashion, and should be spoken in a clear manner. Do not rush, do not be in a rush to get all the answers. Don't talk too much fast just to answer all the questions. In fact, indeed, you must answer all the questions, but talk in a very comfortable speed. Do not show that you are in a hurry. No, that will leave a bad impression. Then avoid mumbling. Mumbling is that we only pronounce half of the word and leave the half of the word to be guessed by the interviewing panel. No, speak all the words clearly and thoroughly and complete word. Do not just speak out only half of the words. Do not use shortcuts of words during your interview. Avoid mumbling as it makes you look nervous and unsure. So when we mumble, it means that we are nervous and we are unsure about a certain answer, or we are not confident about a certain answer. If you don't know the answer, be honest without it. Be honest about it. If you are not sure about the answer, just say it out clearly, or try to try to give an alternate answer which also relates to the same question. But be honest. And if for the worst case for the worst case scenario, just say that you don't know the answer. But also say that you will be highly interested in looking up the answer when you go home or later afterwards. So this was our eighth skill. Now we come to the next slide. The next slide shows the ninth and the 10th skill. The ninth skill is maintain a good body language. A lot of communication is indeed non-verbal, and this is critical in an interview. In fact, 33% of employers figure out within the first 90 seconds of an interview whether they will hire someone or not. And this figuring out is not only due to the verbal communication. The non-verbal communication, that is your body language, also plays a very vital role during the interview. So we must maintain a good body language. We must look confident. We must present ourselves confident. Then what not to do in the interview as far as the body language is concerned? Do not fiddle in your seat. Sitting Do not fiddle in your seat. Sitting in a laid back position or being fidgety can go against you. Instead, sit upright and keep a smile on your face. So do not fiddle on your seat, do not lay back on the seat, and do not show that you are nervous. Instead, sit upright and keep a smiling face. Then the 10th skill is make eye contact. When you talk to an interviewer, be sure to look at them. Don't look down or at the wall or at the clock. It shows a lack of confidence. Communicate with the interviewer by making eye contact. This displays confidence while allowing you to make an engaged connection. So we must always maintain an eye-to-eye contact while we are in a interview. Do not focus yourselves to other objects, like do not look on the wall, do not look on the clock, don't stare at your watch, never look at your mobile phones during an interview. This puts a very bad impression. This shows that you are not interested in the interview. So put all your attention, always look at the interviewing panel. In fact, we must always turn off our mobile phones when at a interview. If you don't, if you receive a call while you are interview, this puts a very bad impression. It shows highly disrespect from your side on the interviewing panel. So I will highly recommend that first, if it is possible, don't take your mobile phone in the first place. However, if you must keep your mobile phone, keep it silent. Even the vibrator should also be turned off. Do not be distracted by your mobile phone or any tablet or any electronic during the interview. Maintain a good eye contact with the interviewing panel. Thank you very much for your time. I will try that this video is provided online. You can always go through this video, this online lecture through the recordings. Read interesting articles that are available on the internet that will help you in sharpening your interview skills. Okay. So thank you very much. I have downloaded the attendance. Okay. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.